Good evening. Just want to share with you a couple of really interesting points from a couple of very fascinating conversations I've had today that have all accidentally, coincidentally landed on the idea of a CEO mindset. It's a CEO mindset. Now, I don't know how big your business is, but I know that because I'm the owner of two businesses, I have one business that is large with 14 employees. Well, it's not technically a large business, it's still a small business, but it's big-ish, 14 employees. Now, for me to entertain the notion of having a CEO mindset was something that I thought only applied to really mega big businesses, right? I thought it was something that only applied to corporations. But recently I've been reading a few books, talking to a few people, sharing a few ideas, both with mentoring clients, with mentors, but also with people who are just in the same boat as me. And I've realized that there's something we all have in common, and that is that we have a vision for our business and we need help sometimes actualizing that vision. Now, a CEO usually is someone who's the idea person at the front of the business. So they've got the 3 to 5 year view of where that business is heading. So it actually doesn't matter how big or how small your business is. You can still adopt a CEO mindset and be thinking ahead and keeping your view, keeping your blinkers a little bit wider so that you can visualize where you're going with your business. Now, I mentioned I've got two businesses. So the first is the private practice, 14 employees. The second business is my mentoring business, and that is just me. And yet I still need to have a CEO mindset with the mentoring business, because otherwise I'm just butting heads with whatever crisis or whatever shiny object or whatever new conversation pops into my attention today. I need to be focused on where I'm heading and where I'm going and what my vision is and what my strategy is for achieving my goals. So I've talked a little bit this week about goal setting. I've talked a little bit about having mentors and having guidance, having support, so that when you're setting goals in your business, you can break them down so that they're achievable. You can have someone at your back or at your side in a true mentoring way to cheer you on and keep you motivated and keep you accountable. But I think having a CEO mindset, adopting a knowledge base around the difference between a CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and a COO. If you're the COO of your business, the Chief Operations Officer, that means you're doing it all. You're doing all of the operational stuff. Now, at the moment in my mentoring business, I'm both CEO and COO, but one day I might have a CFO, Chief Financial Officer. I might have a CHO, Chief Happiness Officer. Who knows what team I will need alongside me in the future when I'm growing and building that mentoring business to the point where, yes, I'm still the mentor, but I'm not just doing all of the things myself. So I know already, because I'm 3 to 5 years ahead of myself with the mentoring business, I'm already on the lookout for some assistance with my social media, for example. So I'm looking at building up a position description for somebody to fill that role for me, to support me with the social media work, because I can't do it all myself. Because I know 3 to 5 years down the track, if I don't have some systems in place now, what I've got in mind for 3 to 5 years down the track ain't gonna happen. So I was talking to a mentoring client this morning. We were just chatting about business. We were talking about the role of the business owner. We were talking about also the isolation of being a business owner and not having anyone to bounce off who's at the same level as you in your business. Now, sometimes that means you need to build some supports around you. So she and I got talking about my Like a Boss program. as you know, if you've been paying attention anyway, the Like a Boss program is my 12-month intensive mentoring program. And this is where you work really closely with me for 12 months. And I will help you develop a CEO mindset, help you be able to, I guess, shape your vision, shape your 3 to 5 year vision so that you know what it is you need to achieve within the current 12 months to get you towards that 3 to 5 year vision. The nice thing about working alongside someone while you're trying to achieve your goals is that as you start achieving, as you start succeeding, you have got somebody there who's saying, do you know what? I don't know if this goal that you've got on this list that we discussed at the beginning is still relevant. Do you think it's still relevant? Do you think maybe we need to shift these goal posts a little bit because you're moving in an exciting new direction, or you're achieving your goals faster than you thought you might, and so on. So part of what we talk about in the Like a Boss program, part of what we work on is developing that CEO mindset and identifying who is the COO in your business. Who's the Chief Operations Officer? Does it actually have to be you? Or is there someone else in your team, no matter how big your team is, who can fill that role so that you're free to keep visualizing and keep steering the ship that you have built towards that 3 to 5 year vision? It's a little bit like sailing, because of course, no matter how far you sail, you're never going to reach the horizon, right? So it's the same with your business. Your 3 to 5 year vision is going to keep being 3 to 5 years down the track, no matter how far along you've gone. So having a mentor is sort of like having, I've mentioned before, it's like having a navigator or having a co-pilot that helps you steer towards that goal. So as you will also know, if you've been paying attention, I announced this big exciting bonus this week with my deep dive program being offered for free to the first 4 people to sign up for Like a Boss only in August. Now, it's looking very much like 2 of those deep dive offers have been snaveled already, which means there's only 2 left. What's the deep dive? That's where I come to you. I come to you and I will sit with you for 3 whole days, and we will get down and dirty in your business, and we will look at what you can tweak. We will look at what mindset issues, what psychological barriers you've got to success. We'll look at how your customer support is looking. We will look at your pricing structures. We will look at your marketing efforts. We'll look at everything over a 3-day period. That's my deep dive program. Now, it's not available as a standalone program at the moment. It's only available for those who sign up for the Inner Circle program. So if you're curious, if you're interested, jump onto my website, tesscrawley.com.au, have a little look and see what you can find out there about my Inner Circle program. That's my 12-month mentoring program. Very excited. We're going to launch soon. It's got a rolling enrollment system so that you can enroll as long as there are spaces available, maximum of 6 to 8 people, depending on the mix of people. As long as there are spots available, you can enroll at any time that suits you. But once it's full until somebody graduates out. So you don't want to miss out. But if you're sitting on the fence, and I know who you are, you're sitting on the fence and you're thinking, oh, it's a big investment. Yes, it is. Will I regret it? No, you won't. Will Tess guarantee that I will make the progress that a 12-month mentoring program offers? No way, because you're going to do the work. But I tell you what I do guarantee, and that is I'm going to do the work too. I am going to work damned hard to make sure that you've got the best springboard, because you need to not only have the ideas, have the mindset, have all of that stuff at your fingertips. You need to take action, and that's my job, to make sure you do it. So you're sitting on the fence, you're having a think. There's 2 offers of the deep dive bonus, which is worth about $6,000 on its own, left. So I wouldn't hesitate too much longer if I were you, and I'd love to have you in the program. So if you're not thinking about like a boss, that is perfectly fine. I want you thinking about your CEO mindset and whether or not you are actively thinking like a CEO, keeping your vision big and broad, and then from there coming back and identifying the goals and the strategies that you need in order to be able to achieve your goals. All right. So Tony's asking, can the CEO, a COO, Chief Operations Officer, be a practice manager, or are they admin only? A practice manager can be a COO, a principal psychologist can be a COO, a clinical team leader can be a COO. It can be any person in your team that you want it to be. If it's someone that you trust to drive that boat that you are steering, if that makes sense. So a COO, Chief Operations Officer, they make sure that all the wheels keep turning. They make sure that everything runs smoothly. So an analogy I've used in the past is that you might own the bus, but the COO is driving it, at least for now. You might hop on and hop off and co-pilot sometimes, just depending on what your business needs. So think about, are you doing all the things? Is it time to hand over some of the things to a COO type role within your team? Have a think about it. Thank you to those of you who've joined me live. Really lovely to have you here. I am now heading off for the evening and I want you to have a fabulous night. If you're thinking about my Like a Boss program, you know it's on my website, tesscrawley.com.au, or you can send me a message, you can send me an email, you can get in touch with me any way you like. I will happily talk that through with you. Otherwise, remember the CEO mindset. You can be a business of one and still entertain a CEO mindset. Catch you later. Bye for now.